Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. Welcome back to Fanboy Fridays. Fanboys, I hope your day is not going very well at all. And today, we're going to talk about, well, first of all, before we get started, shout out to Michael Jordan fans are the best. So I think it was yesterday I was tuning in to one of his lives. And I forgot exactly the topic, but it had something to do with LeBron James. But anyway, he had a guest on that was, seemingly to support LeBron James, talking about his stats and his 40,000 points and him being a two-way player and all this stuff. And as I was listening, I realized that the sound of it was like someone grating their fingernails on a chalkboard. I mean, and what I realize is this. I'm starting to get really agitated about even hearing about the stats of LeBron James. Because to me, before we can even talk about his stats and accomplishments or lack of accomplishments in the game of basketball, we have to talk about his lack of integrity and unethical approach to the game of basketball. Don't talk to me about his stats before you explain to me why flopping is acceptable to you. Like, that's what I need to know first. Like, I need to know why flopping is acceptable to you, and then I need to know why LeBron James lying about his flopping is acceptable to you. That's what I need to know first before I can get into any conversation about this guy's accomplishments or lack thereof. Because to me, it's like I said, it's just really getting to the point to where I'm like, how can we overlook that? How can we overlook that part to even get to the accomplishments or lack thereof? So anybody who wants to get in my comments, quoting some LeBron James stats and accomplishments and the 4 and 6 and been to the finals 10 times and 40,000 points and 10,000 assists and whatever. Don't forget the 5,000 turnovers when you're talking about that. But whatever accomplishments you want to quote in my comments, please, first explain to me what your viewpoint is on the flopping and how that affects where you rank him and what you think of him. And then after that, we can talk about the stats. So without further ado, this is going to be a short video. But I really wanted to talk about the fact, here's another thing about LeBron James, is that despite trying to stack the deck in his favor, he still loses. Like, LeBron James loses with the advantage. And again, if this is something we want to compare him directly to Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan never lost with the advantage. And to be fair, you can say that Michael Jordan was the advantage. Michael Jordan is the advantage. One thing that Stephen A. said that I agree with is he said there were times where you could argue that a team collectively was better than the Chicago Bulls, but they didn't have MJ. This is a fact. This is what you can't say about LeBron James. You can't say, hey, well, LeBron James is the disadvantage. But so LeBron James, despite stacking the deck in his favor, still loses. And to me, this should be an even bigger loss than just losing normally. Like, this should weigh more heavily than just if he had lost under normal circumstances. For instance, going to Miami. When you go to Miami and you're number one, you're cocky about it. You're up there talking about not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, all the way up to not 7. When you're cocky about it, when you and D Wade are in the tunnel making fun of Dirk Nowitzki having a code or whatever, you're not humble about it. And you only win 2 championships. Not only do you only win 2 championships, But you have one of the worst, if not the worst, meltdown of any superstar ever in history. This is what you did after you stacked the deck in your favor. This is what you did after stacking the deck in your favor. You come up with one of the biggest shortcomings of any superstar in history. So let me explain this. To me, this is how this should work. So not only did you have, see, people bring up the 2011 finals, and I think a lot of them speak about it about the incident itself. Like 2011, that was a terrible meltdown for LeBron James. Absolutely. But what you have to throw on top of that is that was a terrible meltdown after stacking the deck in his favor. See, it wasn't like a meltdown if he had stayed in Cleveland and had that meltdown. This is a meltdown after stacking the deck in his favor. So yeah. And so this is something I want to bring up real quick. LeBron James, despite having stacked the deck in his favor, has only had 3 seasons of winning 60-plus games. Despite having stacked the deck in his favor, LeBron James has only had 3 seasons of winning 60-plus games. Now, here's the thing. 2 out of those 3 seasons, he didn't even make it to the finals of winning 60-plus games. In the 08-09 season, the Cavs went 66-16 and lost to the Magic. In the 09-2010 season, they went 61-21 and lost to Boston. Now, here we go. Here you go, fanboys. Here's a bit of information for you. Michael Jordan never lost when he won 60-plus games. Every time he got to 60-plus games, he won an NBA championship. And here's another stat for you. 5 out of the 6 seasons of championships, the Bulls won 60-plus games, including 70-plus games for the 72-10 season. There was only one championship season that the Bulls won less than 60 games. And you can say whatever you want about the second three-peat. Again, you want to try to call it a super team because it had Dennis Rodman. But according to you guys, Dennis Rodman was old when the Bulls beat him in 91. According to you guys, Dennis Rodman was old when he beat him in 91, but now it's a super team in 96. Okay. But just going from the first three-peat, the Bulls had a team that they had built up over the years. The Bulls had role players who learned their roles and learned how to compete from a great leader in Michael Jordan over the years. Horace Grant, John Paxson, Bill Cartwright, Stacey King, Cliff Livingston, Will Perdue, Craig Hodges. These are all guys who played their role. So after the Bulls built up that team chemistry, after Scottie Pippen was built up by Michael Jordan, the Bulls go on to win 6 championships. But 5 out of 6 of those championships, they won 60 games plus, including a 72-10 season. Again, LeBron James has only had 60-plus seasons 3 times, twice in Cleveland, once in Miami, and he only got a championship 1 time. This is just another example of LeBron James having an advantage and still not being able to deliver. This is just another example of the fact that because LeBron James didn't stick it out and learn how to truly overcome by making himself better, he never really learned how to win. He only learned how to move the pieces around. Okay, yeah, bring me some better players and I can make it happen. He didn't learn how to hold the players he has accountable. He didn't learn how to create friction on the team if need be by holding people accountable. He wanted to be liked, so to speak. But I think, people say LeBron James wants to be liked, but what I really think it is LeBron James just doesn't want any friction. He doesn't want any criticism or friction. He doesn't want any conflict. He just wants everything to be peaches and cream. But he doesn't understand that a true leader has to be confrontational if need be. A true leader has to say, hey, man, you're not doing your job. But in order to say that, you have to be doing your job as a leader. Again, Michael Jordan said, I never asked anyone to do something I wasn't doing myself. So there's the difference. And like I said, this is just another example of LeBron James. Like, even when he has the advantage, he doesn't deliver. How can this guy be the GOAT or in the conversation? How can this guy be top 5? And like I said, before we end this, I just want to say one more time, before anyone wants to talk to me about the accolades and stats of LeBron James, please explain to me, how does flopping factor into your decision? Like, I need to know. I need to know how you can get over that fact if you're one of these people who has LeBron James in the top 5, or especially if you're one of these people who has him top 2 or 3. Like, I really honestly need to know how you can overlook that part and put him there. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Happy Fanboy Friday to everybody. I hope your day is going well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.